Hey everybody, thank you for coming in. Can you all hear me? Please let me know if you can by dropping down in the comment section and saying hey. Also, as you enter, please don't forget to hit the like button. Really would appreciate it. That way, YouTube, can push this out for notifications. It's free, you guys. It's free 99. We are going to be talking about Tamar Braxton's appearance today on the Tamron Hall show. So, again, thank y'all for joining me. Please remember, again, hit the like button. Before we get started, I am just sharing this video out just a little bit because I want to try to get some more people in here so we can discuss what Miss Tamar had to say today. It was a lot. It was definitely a heavy interview. I did not get to watch it live, or else I would have been on here a little bit earlier. I had to wait until they dropped the clips on YouTube. So please, first off, let me know, did you watch the interview? That's the first thing. Did y'all watch it? Drop that down. Let me know. Right now, I'm just sharing, you guys. Remember, sharing is caring. I always say that. And I do really appreciate y'all being here. So please do not forget to like the video. All right, we're going to go on and get started. Also, as you can hear, I have Cairo here with me. So if you jump in, say hey. Hey to the boy, okay? I was like, okay. I want to talk about this real quick. Okay, hi, Cheryl Blair. I see you in the chat, and you did not see it. So basically, I'll give y'all a quick little recap before we start the discussion on what actually happened. So, if you have or have not seen in the past few months, Tamar has been in and out of the headlines as in regards to a attempt to take her life in the summer, as well as her breakup with her boyfriend of, I think, a little under 2 years, David Adefeso, which resulted in a DV allegation and a restraining order against her. Hi Shay, thank you for joining. Yes, so she has been, like I say, in and out of the news about it, and David has gone on live quite a few times to discuss his point of view. However, we have not really heard much from Tamar. The only thing that we had heard from Tamar was a text message between her and, I want to say, Jason Lee from the blog Hollywood Unlocked, where she was kind of debunking David's allegations. So this is her first time actually coming out publicly and discussing it on the Tamron Hall show. Again, if you want to see the full clip, it's not available. Part of the clip is available on Tamron's YouTube, but the full clip is not available. So, all right. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep the boy happy. Okay, so the first thing that happened back in the summer, I believe this happened in July, when she attempted to take her life. David actually called the police, and while he was talking on the phone, he was telling the respondent about how Tamar was so unhappy with her situation at WeTV, and how she was unresponsive. And now a lot of people online did go on to kind of question David's motive. Shortly after that, WeTV postponed the release of her reality show, Get Your Life. So, Get Your Life was a 6-episode reality TV show that focused around Tamar and her mental health and trying to basically get back on the right track mentally and within her career, because she had never recorded without her ex-husband Vincent D. Hubert. And so it was kind of like a behind the scenes of her trying to get her life back together. We saw the relationship between her and David, and also her doing some type of internal dream work with a lady named Goldie. That particular like TV show has received a lot of discussion and some backlash in these last few weeks, where it did not necessarily show the relationship between Tamar and David in the best light. Okay. And a lot of people were saying that David's coming out with the restraining order and being so vocal about his position in Tamar's life was to try to combat the way that he would look on the show. He also allegedly threatened to not be on the show if Vincent was on the show. It was a whole mess. Hey, Brandy, thank you for joining. So it was a whole mess. If you all watched the Get Your Life show, first of all, please drop down in the comments. Let me know if you did. I definitely did watch it. I have my thoughts about it. I did not do a review on it because, in all honesty, you could just tell that Tamar was just not all the way mentally there. Hi, World of Days. Thank you for joining. You could tell that Tamar was not all the way there. You can tell that that her and David's relationship was kind of weird. In my opinion, it did not seem like a show that I wanted to review because you could just tell that she was extremely fragile. And the fragility that she displayed on that screen kind of makes us all, it kind of leads up to the point where she, tried to take her life this summer. I'm trying not to say it too much because YouTube will be like, YouTube will demonetize me, and I'm trying not to be demonetized. Okay, but anywho, okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get in here and get into the thing. Let me read y'all's comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. So I see that Brandy did watch it. Also, we have Shay Walk from Facebook watched it. So what were y'all thoughts on the show? Like I said, I could see Tamar's fragility in the show, and you could just tell that she was just not all the way there and something was off. Shay says, I agree. It did display how fragile she was. She's hurting. She's definitely hurting. And so today on the Tamron Hall show, Tamar was able to really express her mental state at that time and what led up to this attempt. Brandy said it sheds light on the attempt. It definitely did. So I wish I could play y'all the clips, but I can't because I'm not trying to get struck down. But I did take some notes to let you all know what was being said. So she starts off the interview by admitting, Tamron asked her if she did, in fact, try to take her life as the reports had suggested. And she admitted that she actually did try to take her life. And she had been lying about her feelings and everything, because Tamron actually, she was like, I had just interviewed you at the beginning of the pandemic and you said that you were fine and you were happy and all of these things. And Tamar basically said that she was lying. She was trying to put on a brave face. She was trying to, put on for, her fans and the audience and the cameras. And internally, she was really, really hurting. She says that a lot of her turmoil was because of wanting to leave the network WeTV. And throughout the interview with Tamron Hall, she definitely speaks a lot on her unhappiness with how WeTV handled herself, her shows, and her family. Make sure I see we have some new people coming in. Please, y'all, make sure that you hit the like button. It's free. I appreciate it. If you do, that just gets some more people in here. But yeah, so Tamar, she wanted to leave the network because she was upset about how she was being portrayed, and we saw that a lot in the Get Your Life um television show. She spoke on how she felt like she was always being displayed as the angry black woman, and she was always kind of being seen as volatile and problematic, and she did not like how it was being portrayed. She said that she did also with Breast and Family Values. She did not come up with that show for it to turn as dark as it had turned. I'm not Teresa. So I actually did watch a good portion of the interview from Tamron Hall on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I will try to leave the link in here. I'll leave the link in the description box. I can't change it now, I think, but I'll definitely change it so that if you all would like to see the interview, you can just click the link down below and check it out. So let me see. Let me get back. I'm gonna get back to my notes. Y'all had to take notes. So where am I at in my notes? So yeah, she said she was unhappy about how the network was portraying her, and that she was stuck. Sorry, she was legally stuck in a contract. Now we all know that the Braxtons were stuck in a contract. As a matter of fact, for BFV, Braxton Family Values, they were stuck in a 10-season contract. Now, somewhere around season 6, I believe, is where we were beginning. Well, actually, somewhere around season 5 is where we were starting to see the breakdown. And at the beginning of season 6 is where you had the season where the girls, what did the girls do? They boycotted everyone except for Tracy, and we had that super awkward and weird scene, half a season where Tracy was filming with Phaedra and Lunel and a whole bunch of people, and we were all very confused. But it was because they had been stuck in these contract obligations with WeTV. So Tamar said that was part of her issue as well, that she had been expressing to the network how she was feeling suffocated. She was feeling suicidal. And all of this. And while she's expressing herself, she said literally the next day, WeTV sent her a breach letter, meaning that if she did not continue to work, they sent her a call sheet or something and a breach letter, meaning that if she did not continue to work, that they would withhold her pay. They would, sue her, these type of things. So we're going to pause right there. And I just want to hear from you guys. First of all, what are your thoughts so far about Tamar's discrepancies with WeTV? Now, we have all heard Tamar has been very vocal. The family has been very vocal about their issues with WeTV. And so, again, this is why Tamar is saying that this is leading up to it. My first thought, and this is not, to blame the sisters or Tamar or anything like that, but when they first were having their discrepancies, I was confused as to why they would sign a 10 contract, a 10-season contract. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure in the beginning in season 1 to be like, oh my God, we're automatically going to get picked up for 10 seasons might have sounded like something glorious, especially for all of the sisters, because at that time, the only sister that had any real notoriety was Toni Braxton. So I'm sure it kind of, the glitz and the glamour of it probably sounded really, really great. But in actuality, it's unwise to sign a 10-year contract without having any type of clause to where you can come in and have some renegotiations. They were getting paid the same amount. And let's be clear, the Braxton Family Values, their show was supposed to be the equivalent to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And they were getting paid pennies compared to. So let me see y'all's comments. I see Jayton Myers. I apologize if I'm not saying it right. She created her own monster. For sure. She definitely did. Tamar was the brainchild behind the Braxton Family Values. And it is very ironic that the thing that she created was the thing that caused her the most turmoil and strife. Yeah, it was all about the money. It was for sure all about the money in the beginning. Hi, Silky. I see you. World of Day says, I honestly haven't been keeping up with Braxton family values and the drama, but this sounds like money exchange for sanity. Exactly. And so, um, this is what Tamar is saying caused all of the strife that she was feeling and had been feeling for a long time. And had you been watching, had y'all watched Get Your Life, you would see that she discussed how she was unhappy, she was unable to, she felt choked daily. And I know that a lot of us see Tamar and sometimes we see her as a drama queen, and don't get me wrong, she is dramatic. However, I do think I totally believe her in feeling that she was trapped in this contract, because a 10-year contract is a long time. And so on the Tamron Hall show, she also discussed that basically she wanted to go out, she wanted to do other things. However, because of her obligation to the network, even when she wanted to do other things, she had to film it in some type of way, whether it be with the spinoffs and everything. She admitted that she didn't even want to do the Get Your Life spinoff. She kind of was forced to do this spinoff again due to contract obligations. Grown Folks Relationship says that the Kardashians had a good manager, mom, and even greater lawyers, attorneys. You are definitely right, and I think that shows a lot in just in Black entertainers in general. We tend to sign these terrible contracts. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I got to get the pacifier for the boy. I'm sorry, y'all. Mommy duties. Okay, but as Black entertainers, and we see this all the time in the music industry with the 360 deals, and in the television world, we are so gun ho in trying to get this money and this quick money that we literally sign our souls away to the devil. We don't get contracts looked over by attorneys, not just like attorneys that work with the network, separate attorneys, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so that definitely is like putting a nail in the coffin. Teresa Parker says the show had some effect, but the new guy was very controlling and took over her life. Oh, we are definitely going to get to that. We are definitely going to get to that. Grown Folk Relationship says, let's not forget Vince and Tamar. Vince was Tamar's manager. Yes. And Vince being Tamar's manager, if you watched Get Your Life, you saw that actually hindered her tremendously. She was, Vince was her only producer. He didn't want her working with other people. And although, in the end of their relationship, there were allegations of DV, even without things being physically violent, the controlling, the emotional abuse, and all of that seemed to be prevalent in the way that he was handling her career. So Tamar and Tamar has admitted on numerous occasions that she has been in DV relationships before that predated Vince. So she definitely had a predisposition to being in relationships that were somewhat controlling. But y'all don't get me off topic. We're going to get there. We're going to get there because that's a little bit later. Tamar also, she also discussed how she was unhappy about the direction of Braxton family values and where it was going. Again, she said that she came up with the show for them to show a positive light. And as with any reality show, as the seasons continued, things got more volatile. Things got a little bit more, they got aggressive. They actually had a physical altercation between the sisters last season. Allegedly, there's another physical altercation that happens this season at Trina's wedding between Tracy and Tamar. Now, David was the one who actually even spoke on that, because I told y'all he's been speaking a lot. So BFV definitely had turned away from the light, fun, airy show that we had been seeing in the first seasons, and Tamar attributes all of that to the depression and the anxiety and the feelings of suicide that she had started to feel. I'm gonna read some of y'all's comments, and we're gonna keep recapping. Before I do that, I only have 5 likes on the YouTube, but I have 38 people watching on the YouTube. I need y'all to hit the like button, okay? It's completely free. Please hit the like button. All right. Now what says, I love them all. However, Tamar is leaving out something. Number one, how come she the only one who had a breakdown? Number two, how come Tamar is not talking to none of her sisters? Okay. Let's talk about that. Excuse me. Okay. Let's talk about number one. Let's talk about what you said. Number one, with the breakdown, Tamar might be the only one who has had an emotional breakdown in the public, but we don't know how any of those sisters are behind closed doors. We are aware though that all of these sisters were unhappy with the show in one capacity or the other, because that's why they did not film the beginning of season 6. And you said number two, how come Tamar's not talking to none of her sisters? Okay. Now, Tamar is good at playing the victim, and if you watch the show, you know that she's good at playing the victim. There are a lot of things that have led up to Tamar not talking to her sisters. Many things I believe that have led up to Tamar not talking to her sisters. So I think she does hold a lot of blame in her breakdown with her sisters for sure. However, I do think that the volatile situation that has come up between her sisters, Tamar is good at blaming other people besides blaming herself. I think she holds a lot of weight in whatever the breakdown is, but I'm sure WeTV does hold a little bit. And instead of her showing any ownership or accountability for her part, she's just going to place all of it on the network, which, is what she seems to be doing. Taylor says, I can't believe her family did that to her. Yeah, they're just messy now. Grown folks says, if you remember, David kept telling Tamar this show was going to show her in a bad light and that Tamar was a good person, but they kept showing the bad. They kept pushing David away. Now, in the show, I felt like they were showing David in more of a bad light than they were showing Tamar. Tamar was seeming to try to be open in some ways, like, again, still being her normal dramatic self. She definitely did have some breakdowns within it, like when they wanted her to go to the smash room and how she was extra. I'm sorry, y'all. Do y'all hear Cairo back here? He hear me talking. He's like, oh, you're talking to me. I'm sorry, y'all. But overall, when I was watching Get Your Life, I was more side-eyeing David in that show than I was side-eyeing Tamar. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Yes, definitely, Kim. Tamar needs to take a break from everything and everyone. But what Tamar was saying in this interview with Tamron Hall is that she can't take a break because of contractual obligations and because of WeTV constantly threatening litigation or to withhold pay. So then Tamron goes on and asks a great question about the drama being brought to the show, basically saying, did she feel like the network was manufacturing drama in order to, get people, to watch and things like that? And Tamar says that she basically felt like she was making a deal with the devil. And let me see. Look, I'm sitting up here trying to read my notes. Hold on, let me make it bigger. I ain't got my glasses on. Where is it at? So yeah, Tamar asked about if the network had been the reason why drama was being brought to the show, and Tamar says that she felt like they were making a deal with the devil, which is what led to the abuse on the show and what led to okay. So which is what led to Tamar's abuse being told on the show. So during this portion of the interview, Tamar talks about how the family sat down with Iyanla. Now, we remember the sit down with Iyanla and how during that sit down, it was revealed that Tamar had been sexually abused from the age of 6 to 16 by a family member. Now, this was a family secret that she said no one knew. She had not spoken to Iyanla about. And she says that she feels that it was because of the network that secret was even brought to the forefront. She says she felt embarrassed and humiliated that it was even brought up, and that she believes that one of her sisters was the one that brought that secret to the show. And it was basically like she had made a deal with the devil. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna take a pause right there. I'm gonna take a pause right there, and I want y'all to give me y'all thoughts on that Iyanla scene. If you all did watch Braxton Family Values, and tell me your thoughts. Because if you remember, that was a very during that like it was supposed to be kind of like a therapy session, I guess. During that therapy session, a lot of things were brought out. We had Tony basically talk about her dislike for her family and how the show had messed up their familial relationship. And we talked about, again, Tamar's sexual abuse. And and Tamron pushed back a little bit and was like, so are you saying that you believe one of your sisters told this secret? And Tamar said yes, she does. And they told it. She believes that it was told, for the drama of the show. What are y'all thoughts on that? I would hope that that's not true. However, it does. Well, it does raise the question, how did Iyanla know? How did that information get brought to the forefront? And if it was used to humiliate, do you all feel that it was used to humiliate Tamar, or was Iyanla truly trying to get to the breakdown in their familial relationship? Brandy says Tamar showed herself in a bad life with that reckless mouth, and we've seen her definitely speak extremely reckless over the years, season after season after season. So that is what has definitely made it hard, in my opinion, for fans of the show to kind of show some grace when now we're seeing that she's hurting because of how reckless in the past she has talked. And let Tamar tell it, that has been a plot of the network to portray her in a bad light. But the network can only air what you give them. And I think that she seems to miss that a lot. She seems to miss that point a lot. Now what says, Get Your Life was a miss. WeTV, why they had a dream lady around Tamar. What the hell? I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it was definitely like WeTV said we got an obligation to make, okay? And honestly, after the situation over the summer, it made me look at WeTV side. It made me side eye WeTV when they did. We thought they wasn't going to show the show. They didn't just not show the show. They just pushed it back for a little while and still showed it. So it does. At the end of the day, WeTV is a corporation. They out here trying to get their money, and they're like, "All right, Tamar, we're just trying to get a show out because you still owe us X, Y, and Z of your life. So we're just trying to get a show out. What can we do to get you to film? We can bring Mona in here. We can bring your dream worker in here. We can have your boyfriend. What you want? We just need you on the TV." Grown folks said, if you think back when Tamar said she was molested, none of her family seemed shocked, only the dad. So so I think it was a family secret. I think the family knew because it was, and we all know it was a family member that did it. So I think the family definitely knew. The question just comes into who told Iyanla? Who told Iyanla about it? How did it get back to her to be brought up on camera in front of everybody? Teresa Parker says, I would ask the network to reveal who told them, or I would sue. I wonder, that's valid. I would want to know. Now what says, Iyanla does her homework way before her guests come on. But the only way for her to find that out, if it was this big of a family secret, was for one of the family members to tell. And that was not a secret for them to tell. And the way Tamar spoke on it was that she felt blindsided that was even being brought up. So, if someone has gone through abuse like that, it's not for it to be on display unless they actually feel comfortable discussing it. And it's unfair to blindside her and try to give her therapy on it if she's not ready to openly discuss it. What if she hadn't even dealt with that on her own, within herself, and now to have to speak on it on the network, that is troublesome. Okay. I'm getting behind on comments. Let me catch up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting behind. All right. Let's see. Teresa says Vince helped keep her in a positive path, but she got the big head and became a diva. I do agree with that. Up until the breakdown in their relationship, for sure. Grown folks relationship said, and who was this family member? No one asked that question, not even mom. No one hugged her or consoled her. Now, I think they know who the family member is. I just think they decided not to tell it on the show. And that also goes back to, look at the generation that they're in. Also, they were what is it? Like the first family or whatever. And they have been taught, you can just tell that they have been taught to maintain secrecy and to keep family business in the family. And one thing about it, creating this show has brought all the skeletons out, which is why Tamar is at the point that she's at now. We TV are predators, and they sold their soul to them for coins. They did. They definitely did. And so now it seems that is affecting Tamar the most mentally. Brittany says, I was confused. She has all these issues with the network, but she trusts them to do another show. And so what she was explaining on Tamron is that she did not want to do another show. She wanted to go and do other things, but because she was contractually obligated, she had to come up with that's why she has these spinoffs. That's why she's doing all of these shows, because she literally does not have a life of her own. Kim says she's great at dishing it out. She's verbally abusive and inauthentic. She simply can't take it. She most certainly misses the point that no matter how they edit the show, she spoon feeds them the drama. I'm over Tamar. Brandy says, I wouldn't Iyanla be the person. I wouldn't let Iyanla be the person to discuss it with. Oh wait, wouldn't Iyanla be the person to discuss it with? I love Iyanla personally. Let me just say that I love Iyanla. I think she gets to get to. But if Tamar is not ready and willing to openly discuss it, especially in front of the world, in front of the nation, that was not the forum. To blindside her about that type of abuse is abuse again. So that would not have been the forum, and it seemed like she was blindsided. Right. She wouldn't want to talk about it on national TV. Exactly. Teresa said, girl, church families have so many secrets and a failure to confront issues immediately. Yes. The replay of the interview is actually on YouTube on the Tamron Hall. It's only the first half. So, I'm going to put the link in the description box, but, I'm going to put the link in the description box. Okay. So let me continue on with what else was being discussed. And so, continuing on in the interview, after Tamar said that it was because of her secret being told on the show, it was at that point that she felt suicidal. And again, that's what I'm talking about when I say that it's unfair and it's re-traumatizing. It's re-traumatizing to her. It's re-traumatizing to her to bring that secret out. And if she on national TV, if she was not ready to discuss it. Oh, look, YouTube done hit me, y'all. I tried to keep it, but YouTube, honey, they don't let you talk about nothing. Honey, they be like, this is too heavy. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, Tamar says it was at that point that that's when she began to feel suicidal. And that happened a year, 2 years ago almost at this point. So then Tamar also begins to speak also. So all of that is what leads up to this point that happened this summer. So she's unhappy with the network for all of these reasons that we have discussed. She attempts to take her life. And then now we're starting to see the breakdown in her relationship with David. Now, this particular clip is not on YouTube yet. This was like the preview clip that they had been doing to advertise the show for Tamron Hall. Is not up yet. We'll probably have to check back in a few days, and if it comes up, y'all make sure that you're following me, you subscribe. I'll put it on my community tab once it's I put it on my community tab once it becomes available. But Tamar discusses her relationship with David. She says that she had been in domestically violent relationships in the past, and that she was not in one. She was not in an abusive relationship with David, is what she says. Despite the restraining order, despite what we saw on the TV show, she claims that she was not in an abusive relationship. Now, I want to push back on this a little bit. I'm going to push back on this. Actually, I'm going to push back on this a lot. Because, again, like we were discussing earlier, abuse is not just physical. And the dynamic that we were seeing on this Get Your Life TV show definitely showed that there were some controlling ways in there. And during this part, Tamar also said that at one point during this interview, she also said that she doesn't know, she never respected this type of behavior from David. And she questions if it was because he saw the state that she was in. Now, I said this personally to myself, not on any platform, but I did say this personally to myself when she first got with David so soon after her divorce, that she didn't have enough time to heal. Her and Vince had been married or together for 10, 15 years. It had been well over a decade. And she literally got with David about 6 months after everything broke about her and Vince breaking up. So that was definitely a quick turnaround. And when you're in that type of when relationships end in the volatile way that her and Vince ended, and as entangled as they were in their relationship, you need time to heal and become whole within yourself before joining with another person. So I side-eyed the relationship, honestly, from the very beginning. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about it down below, and then we're going to continue discussing it. Let me catch up on these comments before we keep going. So y'all make sure y'all comment down below and tell me y'all's thoughts. Let me see, where was I? These comments. Let's see. Brandy says the name of the show is Fix My Life. Those are things that need to be discussed to fix your life. She should have done the interview in private, right? Not By Entertainment says some people not prepared for the downfall of being in the spotlight. Yes. And let me go back to this real quick. And what's crazy is how Tamar actually kind of became the breakout star from Braxton Family Values. When you think of all the sisters, I mean, we're outside of Tony, because I mean Tony is established, Tony is Tony. But Tamar became the breakout star. She had an album. She had albums that were successful, spin-off shows. She had made it to the daytime tea time. She's hosting things. She had truly became the breakout star. And then all from this platform that now she is claiming is destroying her mental health. That is very interesting. Grown Folks Relationship says, here it goes. I believe that Tamar's secret was told by Tony. That's why the family didn't speak on who told it. That's an interesting theory. Teresa says family dynamics can destroy all of your peace. Let's speak on the African. We will. Hold on. Grown for relationships believe that Tracy told the family. Okay, you believe Tracy told the family. Mind you, not Tamar and Tracy have a very hate you, love you relationship. Something's off with them. Yeah, and they have had the most volatile relationship of all of the sisters. And again, they had that physical altercation in the last season, and allegedly they're going to have another one in this season. So it could very well have been, but that would be a very hateful thing to do, to tell your sister's deepest, darkest secret. That would be a very hateful thing to do, no matter how love-hate your relationship is. Right. I definitely think she's in denial about this relationship for sure. Kim says, I disagree with the whole blindsided thing. I mean, really, she was she's seen Iyanla's show. She had to know, or at least expect, that the secrets were going to be dug up. Let's see. Brandy says, physically, no, but mental abuse is real. Yes. Yes, it was rumored that Vince cheated. Yes. Teresa says, when she shaved her head, she had a break. Yeah, well, that was the beginning of a breakdown. We saw Britney Spears. We saw the signs when they were coming. We've seen the signs coming for a while. And so it's so sad that even with her sisters, like us as got tongue tied. Us as viewers could kind of see the breakdown happening. We saw it coming. And so as her family, I think that they should have stepped in at some point, but I mean, they had been so estranged, but we saw it coming. We saw it coming. Kim says, I agree. She moved too soon with David. Or Janae Washington says, it's her story and no one should have said anything. I agree. I don't think that anyone, I think if she wanted to talk about it, it was her abuse. She should have been the one to say something. Teresa Parker says, because she acted a fool and did the clown dance for the network. Let's see. Teresa says, I believe it was Tracy too. That just would be so hurt. Like, that's just hateful to me. Word of Day says, Lord, I couldn't see myself betraying my sister like that. The TV has ruined their family dynamics because of the ratings and money. Yes. These sisters function in their dysfunction. And it's just like we saw the deterioration of this family from season 1. If y'all go back on Netflix, they got it on Netflix. If you go back to season 1 to now, it's just sad. It's really sad. And I don't want to see the Braxton family values to season 10. I don't. It's at this point, it's becoming too dark. It's not even like entertaining. It's just dark. I don't want to watch it. Tracy told the family, but Tony told Iyanla. Remember, Tony said she felt like the mom and she was only a child. Tamara Brown says, family is our enemies and some are not part of your destiny. And that's true. Sometimes family can hurt you worse than a stranger or a friend or anybody ever could. Okay, so back to the Tamron Hall interview. So, like I said, Tamar said that she was not in an abusive relationship. However, her saying that is a direct contradiction to the reports that have come out after the altercation with her and David Adefeso. And I'm going to show y'all that in a minute. Because we were told that her and David were on a way to a treatment facility after the suicide attempt. It got volatile in the car. He threatened his life and her life. He put all of this is alleged. Let me make sure I say that. I don't want no problems. All this alleged, but this is what the reports were saying. He put his hands on her. She says that he put his hands on her and she and then retaliated because of that. All of that is abuse, Tamar. So that means you were in an abusive relationship, but she does not want to admit it. And even during this interview, she says that she was not in an abusive relationship, but then she goes on to say how David was her best friend and David was Logan's best friend, and she gets very choked up about recalling the relationship that she had with David. And all of this to me just seems like he had such a control over her. I feel like that she was in such a weak and vulnerable state when they got together that, in all honesty, she cannot objectively see what was even happening in her own relationship. And it's sad. Also, if you have been following this story like I have been following this story, you have seen the text messages between David and Vincent. You've seen the text messages, but like it's been a lot. The blogger Layla Lynn here on the YouTube has been following this story from day one, and I am going to play a quick little clip from one of her videos. And in this clip, it let me hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. In this clip, she debunks this notion that they were not in an abusive relationship, and this is from Tamar herself. Okay, so I'm gonna play this from Layla. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Can y'all see it? While I'm getting this set up, I need some likes on this video, y'all. It's free. I only got 10 likes. Give me some likes, y'all. It's free. Hold on, wait. Let me take this down. I'm sorry, I thought y'all could see it. Let me take this down real quick. Okay, there we go. There we go. So this is the text message that was sent to Jason Lee. And I'm gonna let her read it.
Sent this text message directly to Jason Lee. She explains what happened, and it does match up with what she's saying on Tamron Hall, that she didn't hit David, David hit her. I'll leave a link to this full story below, but in the text message,
All right, so I'm gonna pause it right here because we're gonna get into that in a minute. So that was the text message between Tamar and Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked. So that right there just lets you know that there was some type of physical abuse. There was something that happened. Now, afterward, it was reported that Tamar caused damage to David's car. He alleged that she caused over $7,500 worth of damage to his car. And one of the things that she allegedly damaged was the video camera that he has in his car, and that video camera shows the altercation between the two of them. Now, she addressed that on Tamron as well. She said that she voice recorded the incident, and if you've been, like I said, keeping up with the story, we've known that there was a voice recording of this incident on one of Tamar's, a source from Tamar. You know how they do that. A source from Tamar's account admitted that there was a voice recording. And she also said that, so she has the voice recording and that David has the actual video recording from the dash cam that he has. So I'm confused because Tamar said that David has the video camera, but David is saying that she actually destroyed the camera that was in the car and that he does not have the video camera. During her interview on the Tamron Hall show, Tamar said that David has the videotape of the incident and she actually asked him to release it. So there is some confusion in this story. Where is this alleged videotape? Who's going to release it? And even if you don't have the actual videotape, what about this audio? Is all of this going to be used in court? Allegedly, Tamar has not been able to be served with the restraining order because David cannot locate her. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of confusion. It's very convoluted. It's a lot of stories and reports coming out. And David has also responded. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, let me read y'all's comments. Let's see. Teresa Parker says season 1 they put on a fake face, but the makeup is off for sure. You saw the makeup coming off season after season after season. Brandy says Tracy has had to deal with a lot as well. And I do think Tracy's had to deal with a lot, but I'm also like, girl, your family went on and signed this deal 25, 30 years ago. Like, get over it. Sorry. I don't have over sympathy for Tracy either. Like, I don't. Get some therapy and move on. Teresa says you just have to justify the reason for a restraining order. Yes. And did you see how he spoke to her while taping? I did. I was looking at David with a strong side eye during this filming, and I think that's why David has been so vocal. Because now he's the one that before was like anti the cameras and didn't want to be on the cameras and didn't want to be out in public. But all of a sudden he has so much to say, and he has a live, and he's doing all this talking, and he's doing all these interviews and, you know, all of this kind of stuff because he's trying to spin a narrative, in my opinion. Brandy says it sounds like she's making excuses for him and thinking about taking him back. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. And in my opinion, that is a telltale sign that there was some type of controlling abuse there because, you know, in those type of relationships, often until women are fed up or dead, unfortunately, they continue to make excuses and go back. To me, that's a telltale sign of the type of controlling nature that David actually had over her. Kim says, sad indeed. He did not want Vince to come to the house and pick up his son, which was the weirdest thing ever. Like, why do you want them to have a volatile relationship? I actually think that it's commendable that they were able to come to a point in their co-parenting that Vince can drop the son off. And if the son wants him to come in, he's still young. He wants him to come in and read him a bedtime story. Why is that an issue? You know, again, showing David's controlling ways, talking about how is Vincent in my house? What house? This Tamar house. Okay, let me hush. Let me read these comments before I get off on the tangent. Yeah. Didn't even want Logan to talk about his own daddy. And he's so busy trying to be portrayed as Logan's dad and stepdad and all of this kind of stuff, honey. Logan has a father who is a present. You know, and even Tamar talking about how David was Logan's best friend. That's a bit much to me. That's a bit much to me when Logan has a whole father. That's a bit much. And Teresa Parker says Jason Lee is a whole mess himself. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't do Jason Lee. I don't feature him. I don't watch his blogs. If stuff gets sent to me, I'll check out a clip. But I can't watch him fully. So I don't know what be over there on his channel. Right. Those were private messages to him and him alone. Trying to protect himself. I do agree. David is definitely trying to set things up for a civil suit. He's definitely been coming out and being very vocal about it. Oh, Silky, you done missed a whole lot. He said he knows too much and she wants to minimize her damages. Or Janae Washington says, I feel like they spoke prematurely. I don't think he was abusive, but I think he is an African and their beliefs are different. Tamar became too Hollywood. Now I'm gonna say this. I was really giving David the benefit of the doubt when it came to. Can you get my other headphones, please? I was really giving David the benefit of the doubt when it came to him being African and you know. Africans having a different way of seeing things. However, even with that, that's not an excuse or a right or warrant you to be controlling. You know, I think after seeing Get Your Life, it made me, like I said, it made me side eye him, and I can't blame it on him just being African. Okay, so let's see. Orjane says we have to remember editing too, and that's true. But like I said, they can only edit what you give them. So after this this interview, or not even after the interview, after the clip came out yesterday with Tamar speaking about David on the Tamron Hall show, a rep for David. Now, David has reps, okay? A rep for David has spoken out. This is via TMZ. And they tell TMZ that her recent plea on the Tamron Hall show for him to show his cards as far as evidence is moot, because she knows damn well she destroyed his camera, ensuring that there was no video evidence. Not only that, but the rep tells us David's dash cam only captured front and back views from the car. It didn't record anything inside the vehicle, something we're told Tamar would know if she had just asked before jumping to conclusions and acting hastily. The rep says the destruction of David's property after the alleged attack ended up costing him upwards of $1,600. In fact, he is now claiming he had to shell out more than $7,500 total for other damage she allegedly caused in this violent episode in August. And like it says, we recall that David went on to file a protection order in September, alleging that Tamar punched him in the jugular, which almost caused him to crash. And it says, let's see, since then, Tamar went on the Tamron Hall show to give her side of things, claiming that there was no violent act captured on David's camera or an audio recording she made in the moment. David's rep tells us he feels Tamar and her family twist the truth to fit whatever narrative best suits them, basically dismissing her emotions on Tamron Hall's show as crocodile tears. One last thing the rep claims is that reality star Malika Huck, which is one of the twins and a friend of the Kardashians, saw the whole thing go down, but has refused to cooperate with cops whatsoever. She hasn't commented on it thus far. So that is, again, what has been said. David's rep, whoever that is coming out saying that this whole thing was not true and that he does not have any of the footage, and that Tamar knows that he doesn't have footage. She claims that she has footage. So I'm just going to say this, not victim blaming or anything, but Tamar, just like you're asking David to release the footage, how about you do the same? Let me see what y'all are saying, and we're going to close this out, you guys. It's almost the boys' bedtime. Brigitte Tapp says Tamar's personality would not let anyone control her. I completely disagree with that. Tamar puts on this super huge diva facade, but you can see that she is very insecure. She's very she looks for validation in others, and you can and all of it is just that. It's a facade. I don't agree. I think that, again, like we discussed earlier, she's been in domestically violent relationships before, and that makes it has been shown. It ain't just me talking, but statistically it's been shown that does make you a little bit more predisposed to getting in those type of relationships again. Grown Folks Relationship says it wasn't the fact that David didn't want Vince in his home, but as you go back, Vince stayed there with Tamar and Logan while David was away, which any man would feel side-eyed. Logan said it. I'm a push back on that as well, because now I don't remember where I heard this from, so don't make me quote you on the source, but I remember them talking about Vince staying there. But what I remember hearing was that Vince stayed with Logan, but Tamar and David were not there. So if that's the case, why is it an issue? It's just an unfortunate, period, because I want her to win. I do. Like, I have a very up-down relationship with Tamar. Like, there is a moment where I'm like, girl, yes. And then it's like, girl, you're doing too much. And I'm with you. I want her to win. I want her to win. Clara Prentice says, don't trust David. From the moment I heard Tamar was hospitalized, my thoughts went to David. What is David's occupation? All we hear is that he's in finance. Some type of maybe finance manager. I don't know. Brandy says, I saw an interview and he said 30,000. And that's what I'm saying. I've heard 15 different dollar amounts for how much damage was done to this 2013 car. Now, how is this 2013? I know it might be a Rolls Royce or whatever, but like, how much? 30,000? Like, I heard too many too many things. I want to say it was a 2000. I know it was 2013. I remember the year. I want to say it's a 2013 Rolls Royce. That's what I want to say. I doubt. I don't know. I don't know. I doubt. I think that they are in an amicable relationship because they have a son together and they're moving maturely to co-parent. That's my opinion. I ain't in there. I don't see their interactions, as we couldn't see their interactions on the show, so I'm neither here nor there to say, but I don't believe so. Silky says she's very insecure. I agree. Very, very much so. Very much so. Orjane says the way he explained the incident sounds like a movie. She hit me in the jugular, and he was so dramatic with it. And she hit me in the jugular, and I had to call my mother. Yes, me, a 40-year-old man, had to call my mother. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm side-eyeing the mess out of David. I'm side-eyeing him. I'm side-eyeing this entire situation. They say that there are three sides to the story. His side, her side, and the truth lies somewhere in between. And I'm feeling like I feel like they're trying to handle me. I feel like both sides are trying to handle me, and I just don't like being handled. Tamar is loud to scare others off, but she is fragile. Yes, honey. It's a 2013 something another. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you I ain't saying nothing about it. I'm just saying, Mr. Finance, no shade. My car is at least a 2015, but whatever. Who am I? Who am I to talk about your car? Anyway, David doesn't profit by killing Tamar. I think she wanted out of her contract. I think that the suicide attempt was very much so real. I think that David does have motive to be with Tamar. Yes. I think Tamar's hurt and pain and all of this is rooted in a lot of things, from childhood trauma to falling off, to her family relationships, to her career falling off, to her divorce, to this volatile relationship. I feel like all of those things added together are what have caused Tamar to get to the point that she was over the summer. I don't think that it was just David at all. However, I do believe that David is benefiting. David is trying to benefit from being with Tamar, and he's trying to capitalize. He has been trying to capitalize from it. Teresa Parker says, like Phaedra's husband, finance, right? Is his financial company calling the elderly and swindling them out of money? That's what Africans do. I ain't said it. I ain't said it. And what I also forgot to bring a point that Tamar said that she did not, even though allegedly David was the one that began being physical with her first, she did not report it to the police because she did not want to destroy his career or destroy his business or his company. That's what she said. That's what she said. Trying to, again, this is someone that you are claiming abused you in a way, but you're trying to protect them. I'm just saying. Brigitte said, at least you didn't bite his toe. Ain't that what Rihanna did? Ain't that what Rihanna did? I don't know. Ocean says, I think they both spoke out prematurely, trying to control the narrative. Definitely. Well, no. I was going to say definitely, but no. This is technically Tamar's first time speaking out. David has spoke about 15 times. Now, just like we got one of David's reps, y'all can't see me, but I'm doing air quotations. Just like we had one of David's reps talking now, we did have one of Tamar's reps speaking in the beginning, but this is actually Tamar's first time talking about it in public. But David has been trying to spin the narrative since the day after this altercation happened. What do you think David's motive is? I don't know. It seems that he's trying to get some type of exposure, get some type of notoriety. It seems, clout is a hell of a thing out here in these streets, and people be really wanting it. And I can't remember. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But even though we have been introduced to David as a finance man, I remember someone was reporting on it. I want to say it was Layla Lynn, but don't quote me. If you look up David now, he is listed. Yes, here we go. Let me share my screen. If you look, he's listed as an actor. I'm sharing my screen so y'all can see it. Can y'all see that? Leave a comment. Let me know that y'all can see. Right there, number 1, David Adefeso. He's not listed as a finance guy. He's listed as an actor. Right there. Listed as an actor. He has some other little movie or something down here, you know. So, you know, he could literally have been out here trying to gain some clout. And I would hope not, but you never know with people. You just never know. David works appeared to be legit. I don't know. We saw one scene of him in the office. One scene. One scene. So it could have been legit. It could not been legit. I don't know. I have seen this story before. Let's not forget Bobby Christina. Yeah. Yeah. True. That was Jason Lee who spilled her truth. She bit Vince's toe in the Atlanta hotel once when they got to. Oh, I do remember that. Look, Brigitte, you ain't forgetting nothing. It says, wow, yeah, check that out. Yeah. Yeah, she definitely had to be in a compromising position to bite somebody's toe. You don't just be biting toes. Let's see. Orjane says his Instagram shows what he does. Let's run over to his Instagram real quick. Y'all, I'm finna get off of here for real. I am. Y'all trying to keep me on. I can't stay on here. So let's run over here to his Instagram real quick and see what we come up with. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me share my screen so y'all can see what I'm doing. Hello, come on up. Come on up. Y'all, I'm sorry it's moving slow. I'm trying to give y'all the tea. You're trying to do some investigation over here. Hi, Spencer family. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I might have to pull up the actual Instagram app, honey, because going online is taking too long and it ain't working. Okay, let me stop this one. Let me pull up the app. All right, here we go. So we're gonna pull up David Adefeso. Oh, there it is. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'm up here trying to spell it out. Okay. Changing the world through financial literacy. I remember he did just start in the last week or so. He was promoting this little app or whatever. Now you're speaking on this DV thing, but you're promoting this business of yours. That's again seems disingenuous. And so it says Suchi, a tax-free way to save for your child's college. And then he also was with the Pacific Group. I don't know if y'all can't see it because it's over here on this link tree. And he's also affiliated with the Pacific Group, which is financial services. And then I'm gonna pull this up so y'all can see it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to come over here to y'all so that y'all can see it. Pacific Group. Here it is. So this is also the link that was on his Instagram. Personal services, corporate, blah blah blah. So it's a full company. I guess they talk about management, financial planning, 401k, life insurance, all of that great stuff. So this is allegedly, I mean, not allegedly, but this is who he says he's affiliated with. So great. So he, say he with these people, he doing financial stuff, I guess. All right, let me close this out. I'm gonna read y'all last comments and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna close this out. I believe back when Tamar clowned her sisters in their relationships in the beginning of breast and family values, then things turned bad for her relationship. She couldn't handle it and the pressure of fame. I agree. You got to be careful what you say about someone else's. So wait, we ain't gonna talk about the dream world. I ain't finna get into it, y'all. Kim, you are not keeping me on here. I'm not finna get into it. I'm not. I am not. I got to get off of here. The boy, his bedtime is right now. Teresa Parker says every state has a college statement plan. He cannot reinvent the wheel. And it says, how much does it say he's worth? Don't know how much he's worth. Let's do a quick little Google search. Look, y'all trying to keep me on here. I refuse as I'm searching. I refuse to stay on here as I'm searching. It's according to utheartsreview.com. It says that his net worth is about $10 million. I don't know this website. Oh, honey, this don't even seem to be like no legitimate website. Let me leave off of their website. So, honey, oh no, get off of that. There ain't no legitimate website. I don't know how much his money is. All right. It says that DreamWorks is Hollywood. I'm not gonna get into it, but all right, you guys, that's it. The reason person I call bull. Well, I told you that the website that I just looked on, it was not legitimate, honey. They started putting robots and all kind of stuff on there. I ain't got time. But anyway, you guys, that's it. I just want to get on here and tell y'all, give y'all a quick little recap of Tamar's thing. Tamar's interview on Tamron Hall. I will leave the link in the description box right after this video. Please, you guys. Brandon said that was his website, right? Thank you, Arjanae Washington, for joining. If you are not subscribed, you guys, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I go live each and every Friday from 3 to 6 for Facebook Friday Live. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share this out if you care. I said hit the notification bell. Did I say that? Do that. I talk beauty topics, hair, makeup, and reality TV reviews, as well as hot topics. So I really appreciate y'all joining me tonight, and thank y'all.